We've been here.
Okay, hello everyone, Jonathan Palmer with you. We've just realized we've spent the last 10 minutes talking to ourselves. That is just totally representative of basically the general goings of these first 5 years of NDR. For those who haven't noticed, this is the 5-year anniversary of New Dimension Racing, and we're going to celebrate it with a nice little 2-hour race around Fern Bay Gold with the FBM and the XFG and XRG. John Palmer, Chris Wilkinson, and Dominik Engel. And Chris, let's go through this all again. Chris, what are you excited for today?
Crashes. I think that's what we said at the start, wasn't it? Yeah, it's a very, very tricky track. We saw that at GC1 a few weeks ago. It's difficult. It's the weirdest matchup of cars I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, the FBM and the XRG. So, God knows what's going to happen, but one thing I do know is going to happen is carnage. And Dom, I think you alluded to the carnage earlier when you weren't listening to us, but yeah, I think we all agree, carnage.
Yeah, we were being extremely professional, of course. But yeah, it's certainly going to be difficult I think the FBM driver are going to have always the worst end of the stick if they're in some lapping incident, because, well, personally, if I had to do this race and I would want to survive, I would certainly drive in the SDD clouds.
You know, it would be the first commentary I've done in 9 months that has the issues. Master Endurance all the time when I was involved. Anyway, so yeah, race setup. 2 hours, standing start per standard LFS. We're not going to use our formation lap app like we do in LFS Kart and similar. No safety cars, which is a little different than a lot of people might say for New Dimension Racing. One compulsory pit stop during the race. You must simply follow what LFS wants. So once you start the race, you can take a pit stop, and you must take it before I think LFS will complain at you if there is less than a lap or two to go. Again, the first class, single-seater Formula BMW, and second class, the standard cars, XFG and XRG. Keys to the race. Speed gap is different massively. FBM has about 20 seconds over the standard road cars, and Chris, you've got to keep, to use a Michael Pascam, your lap in check.
You do, you're right. You've got to make sure that you're not being stupid, but on both sides as well. The standard cars, the road cars, can't be too, what's the word? They can't be not obvious about their movements. They've got to be clear, they've got to be concise, and they've got to show the FBMs where to go. At the same time, the FBMs can't be arses. They can't be squeezing into gaps that they know that they can't get there, and they've got to be a little bit patient today. It's a tight track. Everyone wants every little bit of road. The FBMs probably won't win in contact, will they?
And Dom, we did talk about this when no one was listening, but since no one listened, it didn't happen. Pit stops are going to be the key for the FBM. Standard cars, tires, you probably make it most of the race, but pit stop, when you take it and how you take it and how you perform on that pit stop will be the key for you.
Yeah, certainly, especially with so many people seeming to want to run R1 tires here today, which is, well, it's the obvious choice. You always try and go for the fastest possible compound, but it could make it maybe a bit interesting if someone has a major lock-up or just got a bit more tire wear than he thought.
And we'll go with some of these fast sweeping corners with the FBM. They've got to be careful following someone in the dirty air and all the tightness of the track. The key is going to be keeping it on the tarmac, on the black stuff.
Without a doubt, it's a vital part of any racing, but today especially you've got two fairly brittle classes, the FBM and the sexually transmitted disease class as well. They're both very, very susceptible to damage. The FBM especially being open-wheeled, and a little bit of contact with one of these very, very close walls, and you're looking at a long stop trying to get it fixed. It's all about keeping on the black stuff, keeping it out of the walls, and keeping it on the racing line.
Some people are asking us about remote. LFS remote, we do believe, is currently down as part of this afternoon and evening's LFS server and master server issues. We'll try to get it if we get the chance later in the running, but otherwise you'll have to pay attention to us, and hopefully we're bang on and telling you what's going on.
Maybe we're actually going to say stuff that's transmitted on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. So anyway, carrying on. Track map is Fern Bay Gold is 3.514 kilometers round. It's a fairly short track and a very narrow track in the end. 3 sectors. We've subdivided it into 15 little course/marshal sectors. And the most perhaps controversial part of this track is that chicane at turns 2 and 3. We'll go.
Oh yes, the chicane. Well, when you weren't listening to us, we already had this discussion. We talked about which car was more likely to go up onto that hill and die, basically, in that chicane, because it's very, very tight. The curbs are very, very big, and it's not very forgiving. And my bet was the road cars. Dom's was, in fact, the FBMs. And I understand where he's coming from with the FBMs. Those curbs will rattling FBM to the back and beyond. But I still think that those road cars are going to struggle. They're going to go and try and go in 2-3 wide and end up jumping over the bank, Tom.
Well, it's generally pretty dangerous for either, I think. But I'm pretty certain, FBM, once it gets off its ideal line and once it enters a corner too shallow or too fast, I think in any scenario it's going to come off worse. Job we don't have any parts falling off, to be honest, because otherwise I doubt many of them would finish anyways.
And now to another part of this course, that turn 8 coming onto the bridge. It is a blind entry. You don't know what's on the other side. If you see a yellow flag, you have to assume the worst and be ready to slow. If not, you're already slowing down before the apex. Dump.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be one of the key things for the FBM. Not so much the STD cars. They can't take that double left, double right hand flat out anyway, so they're going to lift a bit on the entry for the first one. But for the FBMs, it's certainly going to be very interesting, whether it is being in a battle and diving down the inside because you want to come out on top in the battle or whatever. It's going to be very dangerous for them.
Yes, and we'll go. The last sector of the track is fairly ho-hum, dull and boring. You just need to get your lines right. The real interesting part is going to be the sweeping sections between turns 4 and 8. The overtaking is a little difficult because there's essentially only one real line through there.
There is, you're right, and it's these downforce reliant FBMs that's going to struggle the most. Getting stuck behind a car. We've seen the GT cars, we've seen the open wheel cars, and we'll see again today with the FBMs. The downforce you lose is just so vital to the car. They're just having so many problems, especially through the double right-hander we alluded to earlier on, and that can cause some serious problems, especially with that big wall on the outside of the corner. So watch out for the FBMs being able to follow each other through that twisty bit. But watch for some great racing between the road cars in that section. Something you don't see very often on broadcasted races in LFS.
Absolutely. So with just under 2 minutes left in qualifying, we haven't shown you much of qualifying because it's been split between 2 servers and we didn't want to risk missing something interesting, so we're coming towards the end. Qualifying list results are being shown currently on tracker.newdimensionracing.com. So there we are, and please don't mind the ticker scrolling at the top of the screen. It is not updated. It's showing you the old GT1 World Series race. It doesn't look like Mr. Michael Booth configured it to work on qualifying just yet, but that should hopefully be updating properly in the race. So as we mentioned earlier, this is the 5th birthday for New Dimension Racing. It was formed on December 28th, 2007, as best as we could figure from archaeological records, because, you know, we were the best at keeping records in our early months. And Wilco, you were an ex-member. You know, we did have your giant hindhondness in, but you know, we kind of ran out of sausage rolls, so you left us. But Wilco, what do you think of NDR in their 5 years?
Well, I think some of the things they've done for Live for Speed are absolutely fantastic. Some of the league races, you guys, or so should I say, us guys, back from when you used to actually put a buffet on for us, were brilliant. And some of the things NDR have done have kept LFS alive almost. And to see the 5 years tick over, I didn't know it was that long. I wasn't in the game that soon, so. It's only been 3 or 4 for me, but the 3 or 4 years I've seen have been brilliant, and long may it continue, Deco.
Yes,
hint,
hint. Well, hint, hint, indeed. I always tell people that we will be the ones to turn the lights out on LFS. You know, people have been fairly disappointed. But you know, it's kind of, you know, we don't like to say it, but it's the reality, so we have to acknowledge it. But Dom, NDR has come from a long way from when it started with some, let's just say, right shambolic events to running some of the most prestigious leagues in LFS.
Yeah, although when it comes to the beginnings, it's probably better. It would have been quite good to have CSF on here with his ramblings. But yeah, it's certainly it's changed a lot over the years. It's got a more professional feel to it, more organized feel. And most importantly, Ellis is not shouting that he can't do the safety car because he's got to go to dinner in the chat anymore.
Those are the best days, Dom. May I say, those were the best days. Ellis
inside
idiocy.
Ellis.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure I'll somehow manage to get that audio into this stream at some point.
Oh, please do.
So just watch out for it, Dave.
Yes. So as the last car completes qualifying here in the FBM server, in the main server, we'll go through the FBM class results. Actually, since they're so fast, they'll be at the top and luckily starting ahead of everyone. So the results as they are, if Theo would please confirm to me. Actually, we'll wait a second for everyone to be finished in the other server. Welcome, while we wait for that, why don't you go through the FBM specific results?
I would allude to Jonathan and qualifying. Oh, I missed the button. Qualifying on pole in the FBM category is Koskinen. Second is your Tyan. Majua starts third with Kareni in fourth, and Boulder starts fifth. Stanskevicius starts sixth with Krampus in seventh, and oh, here we go, Elkilkamp in eighth. Donnelly starts ninth with the two Kingsbury brothers, 10th and 11th, Ray in front of Matt. Eke starts 12th, and Zenek Kagash is 13th in the FBM category.
Alright, and we'll go. Because I need to do some things with the tracker, would you be so kind as to go through the sexually transmitted disease class results using tracker.newdimensionracing.com, please?
I would love to when I get there. There we are. Isaac Price starts on pole. Yulostalo
He's a coal miner?
Starts second for Ixion Simsport. Miko Moralito starts third with Tony Lahitan-Maki in fourth. Kevin Loy starts fifth. Tommy Osgard sixth. Robin Friskop seventh. Stankos starts eighth. And Eckhart starts ninth. Hammer starts 10th, Costa 11th, Hillen 12th, Robin 13th, Han 14th, Manta 15th, 16th goes Ben Keogh, 17th to Nicholas Bjorklund, 18th to Roland Campars, and I believe the last qualifier is Torsten Halsey. But I do have to check that one up. He starts 19th in the standard category. So I'll get back to you on the qualifying positions of the rest of the standard class. Just looking at the times between them, the pole time in FBM was a 118.91. Looking at the pole time in the road car class, it's a 142.3. So a big speed differential between the two, and a lot of fun to be had, I think, Dominic.
It seems like LMP1 cars and GTC cars and LMS are suddenly on the same pace, looking at that figure. Certainly going to produce interesting situations, as we already alluded to.
So, while we have this few minutes break before qualifying, or qualifying's done.
Before qualifying, go?
Yes. Well, go. Why don't you take us through your favorite NDR moment?
Alice, inside
or your
out.
favorite
Alice,
or two. No,
Alice.
other than your favorite actual official event, not a practice session or so.
Right, okay, my favourite racing event from New Dimension Racing. Now, my personal one, although it's probably not the same as anybody else's, would have to be the second season of ITCC, which was taken on by NDR, because I was good at it. So I did quite enjoy that. My other enjoyment as well, my other major enjoyment was the first season of GTAL. I believe it was round 2 of that season. It would have been 2010, if I'm right. Am I right?
The first NDR season of GTAL would be 2010, yes.
It was at Kyoto, where we had that corner.
Yes.
That corner? Yeah, that was a good moment.
Yes.
That was good fun. Jonathan, you've been doing it longer than I have. What's your favourite moment in the 5 years?
Well, I was kind of asking you so you could talk while I did these things I need to do for the trip.
Right, okay. Okay, so I am here solely to time waste by the sounds of it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Dom, what about you? Nothing. You guys are so kind to me. Another big, another enjoyable NDR moment for me as well was the Seoul 1 GP race that I ever turned up to. What a brilliant series that was, eh?
Yes.
And Dom is now back, in fact. Dominic is now back. Are you, Dominic?
Yes, hello.
Yes, you are. Your favourite NDR moment. Go. Take me off this microphone.
Oh my god. That's a hard one. There are so many. I would say, well, this year, it's hard to actually judge from an outside view when you're in most of the races, because you mostly don't like chaotic races. But well, I don't know. It's too much happened with all. Probably the LFS card series finale last year. That was quite epic.
Right, so I understand that there are apparently some issues connecting to the server. Victor Van Lardingen is actually watching the stream, so hi Vic.
Hello, Vic.
But he is checking into the issue, and he is trying to tell people to connect to see if it works. So again, we've been having master server issues throughout the afternoon and early evening, and it's kind of unfortunate. But you know, one thing we have to say about LFS is it is perhaps one of the most reliable pieces of software in the world.
It is. our famous last words. We've now had our little bit of issue, but yes, it has been. The only thing that really seems to fall down with Live for Speed is the private service, and they have nothing to do with the sim, have nothing to do with the developers. It is a very, very reliable service, certainly in comparison to the Evil, as we shall call them, because I now don't have a subscription to iRacing. Yeah, Live for Speed has been reliable, it's been stable, and it's been a source of enjoyment for us all for a long, long time, and long may it continue, may I say. I've said that line twice now, haven't I?
Yes.
I said about 5 times by the end of the day because I'm struggling for words.
Yeah, but at least this time you didn't say it 10 minutes ago, like a couple of minutes ago.
Actually, I was just thinking, I may have said that line when we were having our little bit of break because we didn't know how to work anything. We were being idiots with our TeamSpec.
Right. And just from Vic in IRC, hosts will be trying to reconnect soon, and we should be able to have drivers connect fairly soon. And that's the only real thing that seems to really affect events in a server way is when people either can't connect because of the LFS master server issue with the master server, or just general quality issues. But when everything is going fine, the netcode lets you get away with a fair bit, and you can have awesome door-to-door racing done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to see some of that in a couple of minutes' time with the STD cars. I mean, it's not normal. There are some nice, from what I know, mainly iRacing clips where, well, the contact is a bit, interesting, let's say. So to be able to race side by side with someone who you know hasn't got massive lag issues, because if you do and you're driving into him and you fly out of the world, well, that's your fault really, because you basically push your luck. But when both drivers have good connection, you're free to do a lot of things really.
Yeah, and another point that we have to make about Live for Speed is there was some. Speaking of flying out of the world, there was your lovely barrier situation that we had about a year and a half ago. Finally rid it of. That was a fun one. You can have a lot of fun with those red and white barriers around the sides of the track. But another good job by the admins to get rid of that.
If discovered them in the 60s, the flight to the moon was much cheaper.
Escape energy would have been so much easier to reach. It would have been to Mars by now and everything.
So we'd like to introduce a very special guest here in the comms box who will help us fill some time. Jorgen Fuse Kursk, who we know for his awesome music and his awesome graphics that he did for the GT2 World Series, and his awesome ability to roll as part of Content Racing, which is also celebrating their 5th birthday right now. Welcome, Mr. Kursk.
Hi, and thanks for having me.
So, Jorgen, what do you think about this combination of FBM and XFG and XRG, aka the sexually transmitted disease class?
Well, I think it's going to be a proper mayhem, and it's going to be hilarious. Probably not for people taking part, but still.
I was just gonna say.
It's definitely a very peculiar combination and something you'd expect from an NDR birthday event.
Well, for those who wonder what made us choose this, we actually put it up to a poll, and we basically let everyone choose a group of cars, class of cars / cars, and the highest ones voted were actually selected, and so that is what led to this interesting combination. So, Fuse, you've been a long-time participant and involved person with New Dimension Racing. What sort of thoughts do you have about NDR? And don't worry, I won't be offended if you offend us.
No, I don't have any intention of offending you at the moment. I've done that plenty over the years, I guess. LFS wouldn't be where it is without you guys. That's pretty obvious. So these past 5 years have been really great. Events have been great and have been part of the reason why I'm still here.
In your limited knowledge, because I know you've had to sell your soul and brain to the Estonian military, what is your favorite NDR event memory?
Probably, well, not. It wasn't entirely NDR, but I think it was the last 24-hour race of MOE where I ended up casting for like 8 hours. That was a very special. That was a very special experience. But yeah, being a part of the GT2 World Series broadcasts was also pretty special, and I'd definitely like to do more of that in the future to augment the broadcast and make it more enjoyable for everyone, because, well, the LFS content isn't going to change. We might as well make the experience better, if that makes any sense.
Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, it's kind of hard to limit my best experience to a single experience, because I've always had fun, and there's always been frustration included as well, but mainly fun.
So, Jorgen, you've been a very long time serving member of the LFS community. You've driven your fair few races, and as Jonathan said a few moments ago, you're quite famed alongside Jack Sedgwick for being upside down a lot. Now, how would you say that LFS's physics are for you? Do you think it requires a little bit of a tweak so you don't end up upside down? Or do you think it's fair game?
Yeah, I sadly have to say that it's fair game. Most of the incidents have been self-inflicted, sadly, and I can't actually even blame them on other people.
You can't even blame them on the curbs, half of them, Jorgen. You can't even blame them on the curbs.
Yeah, well, maybe on some very isolated incidents, but mainly I've been doing it all on my own. But it all comes with practice. It's been the fruits of many years of practice.
Can I also just mention, isn't Concept Racing the only team to have rolled out of an IGTC race on the formation lap?
That is true. That was on Aston North on I don't know what year, but the perpetrator of that event is actually racing today. So he has the opportunity to relive that precious moment, because it was actually Troy who did that.
So do you guys have your own ever and practice flipping while everyone else practices racing, or is it just a natural gift?
Yeah, it's more of a natural gift, I guess. It's kind of a side effect, or some would say a bonus, because I mean, in endurance practice, you always need to find the places where you can flip your car, so you would be able to avoid them in the race. That's been my approach to the issue.
Okay.
I also have a request from an NDR member from Finland, the country where I quite want to be, as the Money Python song goes.
One.
Oh, yes, that one.
Oh, God.
He wishes to take part by letter, and he wants to say hi to Fuse. And hey, we've got people connecting. So that means the master server knows our server.
Awesome. Say
and
hi
Timo
back.
Hinian also relays his favorite NDR moment. He says it was when Joseph Ellis promised to mail him a running chainsaw in the post. Like, that sounds like Ellis.
Now, as a matter of fact, on Facebook we have a group within NDR, not a public group. It's a group solely about Ellis, isn't it, guys? Solely about Ellis. It's brilliant.
Yes. It's absolutely about him.
And
Yeah,
I
I
ha-
have enthusiasm there.
I have to get my eyes on that group. I want to see what's going on in there.
It's the first time I've ever heard about that.
Intriguing.
As Spock would say, fascinating.
Was
It
Mr.
definitely
Bird
is.
today? Excellent.
he's all. Where is actually gone, Joseph Ellis? Where did he
Oh,
go?
no.
He
Crash
is
around
at
the
the
moon.
University
He went
of
to the
Bath.
moon.
Hey,
Not
I
allowed
actually
back.
wouldn't be surprised.
He's not
Yeah,
allowed
he's
to come
gone to the
back because
University
he's
of
too
Bath, has he?
stupid.
Oh, hello, Chris. Chris,
I
forward,
thought he-
everybody.
I thought he might have gone lost in Tesco's car park while doing shopping or something.
Oh no, he's
That's
clearly
welcome.
a Sainsbury's boy. He's clearly a Sainsbury's boy.
I thought he might have been lost in a Volvo dealership lot.
Oh
Did he
god,
drive
isn't
a
this
Renault
Volvo?
Modus though? And as you might be able to tell on the stream, a few of the STD cars have been released onto the track.
Yes, absolutely. So, Chris Ford, since you're here,
Really not here, I just wanted to make that point
Oh.
clear. I don't want to say anything else. Goodbye.
I'll get back. That's typical Chris. He shows up, makes us think he wants to do something, then immediately shoves off. Anyway, Wilco,
Deco.
you kind of accidentally created some help to NDR, and you brought us the wonderful TBO challenge. And one thing that it always seems, these road cars, and some of these tin taps, and some of these slower restricted cars like the ITCC FXR, provide some quite excellent racing.
It's all about getting the cars very, very similar, and getting the cars slow versus the amount of grip they have, I suppose, or fast in relation to how much grip they have. That's what to me makes very good racing, making them simple enough to drive, so all you have to concentrate on is the racing, or making them very hard to drive, so that what you have to concentrate on is driving the car, and racing just happens. When it gets in the middle, you sort of end up with a big crush of sludge
End up with
of
Formula 3.
crap. Yes, exactly. You end up with Formula 3. So yes, I do believe that the likes of the FXR and these road cars do just have that special little something that makes them a great, great race. I remember as well, I don't know whether it was through NDR or not, but there was a brilliant short endurance race with the standard cars. Nobody's ever done it before. Nobody's ever tried to do a major endurance series in the road cars before, I don't think. It was... Go on.
Well, I know the first 24-hour race in LFS was a road car race only, mainly because it was S1, which was the reason behind that. But it wasn't the first endurance race, but it was one of the best ones. Everyone in the same car, XRG, Aston North, Wilco for getting to change his tyres and costing his team lots of places, it had everything.
And also, let's forget one of the best endurances on the planet. It's in fact than Le Mans, if you ask me, is the 24 hours of editing in the 2 CVs, there's some brilliant hilarity in that race. Something that we don't see with GT1s and GT2s. So
We don't see GT1's full stop.
Speaking of driving hilarity, here's Phil Diaz.
Well,
I didn't do it.
Well, where have you
Welcome.
been?
I don't know, man.
Hola,
I'm
Pedro.
a rock.
You speak no
Hola,
English, eh?
Fuse. See.
So Phil, what do you think of this?
I think it's insane.
You, the king of insane ideas.
I only went with the GT1 and GT3 merged together. I never went for something like this.
I'm quite sure some people didn't read that it's going to be the top 2 classes that get to race in the event.
Oh, I read that. And then I voted for this on purpose.
Was the UF1
You're such a
available?
troll.
Was the UF1 and BF1?
Oh, that would be entertaining.
That would have been more
That
fun.
would be very entertaining, yeah.
That'd be
get
so
there.
much fun. I think
There
that we
was
should do that right now and change the rules now.
There was some event a couple of years ago, I think, where it was 16 groups of cars at the oval and BF1s pushing UF1s.
Oh, that was amazing.
Are you sure
We've
that's not a
done-
cruise server, Dom?
Oh, that wasn't a cruiser, that was on a real event.
Have we done tales of how we first came to know NDR?
No,
Since his
not yet.
birthday?
Chris, how did you first come to know NDR?
Well, now it all began here at Fern Bay at a UF1, surprisingly.
I remember.
Oh, I know where this is going. I'm gonna go
This
hide now.
is at the time it was just Deco Jester, Timo Hinian and Joseph I Need My Dinner Ellis. And it was
Well,
Elvis
Jackson was
Beginners
still
Cup.
part of the team. Jack Atkinson was.
Yeah, he wasn't there, I don't think, at the time.
I'm not sure.
So it was UF1 FE1, and there was a bit of a crash on the server, and he was completely ruining everybody's laps, and I was worse than I am now. So I don't think I'd be very good anymore, because I'm very, very out of touch now. I don't even have a wheel anymore, which is sad, but still. I managed to spin a UF1 5 or 6 times during that race.
I think it was only 3.
It was only 3, oh well. And NDR was so pathetic at the time that the only way that Jonathan Palmer and Joseph Ellis, the safety car driver, could communicate was via server messages. And then we had a safety car, and suddenly we had a safety car toward the end of the race, and I'd been a lap down because I'd spun and I'd come in pits, and I was thinking, yes, I'm going to get my lap back. So I went past the safety car, and all of a sudden Joseph Ellis pulls off to one side and declares he has to go for dinner. And that's the end of the safety car, and everybody's back racing again.
I wish that would still happen.
And you were like half a car or half a lap behind, weren't you?
Yeah, I was half a lap behind, and I just spent the rest of the race like throwing the car about, getting angry.
So Chris,
So
what's your favourite
that's
moment?
how I became
What's your favourite moment?
To know NDR, and my favourite moment is probably I don't know. Don't think I have one really. It's all been terrible.
At least you're
Harsh
being
but
honest.
true. Harsh but true.
At least you didn't have to endure a competition caution. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, that.
Well, you won the year after, you've got nothing to complain about, and you've won every year since, until this year.
But they're talking in the server about whether they should throw a competition caution or not, and asking
Reply with
people.
no.
They're asking people who are driving in like 10th place or something. Do you guys want a competition caution? Of course they're gonna say yes.
Oh
Who's
no,
that?
I know what my favourite moment is. Sorry, I just
Oh, go
remembered the Kyoto 500 of 2009.
Oh god.
Frag Masters.
Oh god.
I thought
was
you were
also-
gonna say
God,
20
please.
I
That was
thought
the
you were going to
most
say
fun.
2011. Turned into
Oh no,
you.
2011. No, 2011 was what, the 400, wasn't it, Dom? Oh no, yeah,
Oh.
well, yeah, you turned into me in the 500, yeah. Dom turned left, Dom turned left, Dom turns
Yeah,
right.
I turned right.
Dom, left means left. No, the 2009 Kyoto 500, for everybody who's listening who hasn't actually seen that thread, you have to go and read it. It's unbelievable. It's just The most baffling logic from anybody, from grown adults you'll ever see in the whole of your life. Bearing in mind that most of Frag Masters are 40 odd. It's beyond the pale. Fuse used to be in Frag Masters, I think you were at the time. What do you think of that incident?
Actually, I wasn't there at the time anymore, and I don't remember the whole issue. But I remember there was a lot of commotion for no particular reason.
There were many issues. Many issues.
Frag Masters crashed themselves out of the race and they couldn't handle it, and no one's got one.
To be honest, you could sum it up with there were many issues, and then there was the race as well.
10 started, 3 finished, none on the lead lap.
No, it was more than 10 in 2009. It was 12.
Was it 12? I thought for sure it was only 10.
Yeah.
It was
And
at
in
least a third.
2010 they tried it as well with Hutchinson one. Do you remember that one where they tried to claim that Hutchinson ruined somebody's engine, but not the fact that the guy in safety car had gone from 6th to 1st gear? You guys are very bright. That's my favourite NDR moment. Anybody else got any favourite moments?
Phil.
Philip, come on.
There's many.
I want one.
Well, then list a couple. Give us a
Alright.
smorgasbord.
It's
That
when I won
2009 500, I really had to go to the bathroom in that race. Really bad.
Oh, that was the one where I heard, "Yay, Mammy brought me a propel."
Yeah, man, I needed that propel so I could pee in it afterwards. But
Well, and that was the one that you came back from a lap down to finish second.
yeah, I let Nolan win that one. He deserved at least one win and something in that.
Here's a
That
question
was
for you,
really
Phil.
unique.
Really unique. Here's a question for you. Talking about urination and long races, you're renowned for being an incredibly quick crapper. Well,
Yes.
Family broadcast, please.
how many times have you gone for a pit stop, done the deed, come back, and continued the race? How many times, roughly?
I've actually never done that because the pit stops aren't long enough. The only one that comes close is KY2. I think it was MOE.
Simon.
I joined the server. Oh, no, this was me. I know what Simon did. I joined the server when the person was starting the lap, and I said I had to go and take one. So then I ran to the bathroom, I came back, and you know the tire bridge at the end of Sector 2? That's where the car was when I came back. Roughly like 1 minute and 7 seconds. Nothing wrong with that.
If
remember
anybody at home believes that they can do it quicker, just come in contact on our thread.
In
Once,
this year's 500, I went to the bathroom and I came back, and Dan Sanger, I think it was, and who was it? Who was in my room at that time? Dan Sanger, Steve Martin. I can't remember who else, but they were having a discussion about how there's no way I was going to make it back, and then all of a sudden I put my headset back on and I start driving, and all I hear is Dan going, "He's moving!" Can't do a Dan Sanger accent. But yeah, there you go. Steve says that was him.
My car was so destroyed in the 2009 one, I was able to go to the bathroom. Like 3 times.
Well, Dan Sanger, of course, the one who has done the most, had the most polls, had the most everything with the Kyoto 500, and still never won it. So he can be the Michael Andretti of NDR's Kyoto 500.
Even I've come closer to winning a 500 than him.
Yeah, you were about half a crash behind the win.
A female nearly won the race.
A quote-unquote female. I don't really think there's much argument that Leanne Solfrank's a man these days, surely. I know Dennis likes to think that
we'll just say she's a female.
No.
Just to make it worse.
It's her name's Michael, for God's sake. She fooled you all.
You just said she, so I think you're fooled.
Well, yeah,
Her
but still, the
name's
character
Michael.
was a she.
Her name is Michael.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I'm going to get more vodka, baby.
I would never have guessed that he was going to say that.
Okay,
Your mum would
That
never
was
guess
Chris
that.
Ford.
we are gridding up here. We're getting...
Oh, there's a race going on?
Yeah, there is going to be a race. Finally, now that everyone's been able to connect and Thilo has taken attendance to make sure
Come
we
server,
have
Phil.
everything we need. And we have 26 of the 32 slots filled.
We should definitely do accidentally the server because this conversation was just getting interesting. Make them grid for another 20 minutes.
A lot of secret information being revealed today.
Indeed. And I remembered another one of my favorite moments from NDR related events. When Chris was sick.
That was an MOE.
That was an MOE.
It was NDR broadcast though.
That's why I said NDR related.
Oh right, okay, yes, okay.
How about ITCC bump drafting?
Oh dear.
That was great fun.
Pass up.
That was terrible. And I remember flipping in an ITCC race, and that was probably... Oh, I actually managed to end a season of ITCC in last place in standings because I had -1 point. I finished behind everyone who didn't even take part.
It's an achievement and a half.
Yeah. Definitely one of the peaks of my career.
One thing I have to say that I remember most about the NDR past, and Wilco in particular. Wilco was the one that caused the inaugural season of the Icon Touring Car Championship to finish under safety car.
Yes, I did do that.
With a fantastic, an absolutely fantastic roll coming out of the last corner with he would be coming to take the final lap signal. You know, he usually has a negative reaction when I mention that to him, but he seems to have gotten over that now.
I'm going to keep quiet. I'm going to keep quiet because if I do say something, it won't be a family broadcast anymore. Jack Ward as well, who was my teammate back at... Can you remember the team name, Deco?
Jaws Racing?
No, it wasn't even Woo Motorsport. It was the other one. I've forgotten it myself. I've forgotten the name. What's it called?
Experian Racing?
Experian Racing. Andy O'Brien. Wow. I hope you're not listening, Andy. Yes, Jack Ward, who was my teammate at the time, was second, about to overtake Frederick Ennison. And my Ireland stopped him. And to this day forward doesn't like me anymore because of that.
There's many people like you.
Do you?
Not really, no.
Then no.
You're joking, Wilco. Give me a hug.
Yes.
Come here. E-hug.
You're like, aww.
Yeah, that's just creepy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, okay.
Anyway, I think what we should do...
strangest moment I think I've ever had in one of these.
I think what we should do for the start of this race, lads, is we should let Deco take it away himself, because I think that would be the best symbol of NDR's 5th anniversary. Deco start.
Well, we already had a great start to the broadcast.
I think we turned on high wind.
Did you hear about that, Chris?
Did you forget to turn unmute?
We forgot to move the...
We forgot to drag the sim race TV thing in for like 10 minutes.
So we were talking for about 5 minutes.
Did you hear that applause?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Thank you.
It was perfectly representative of the first 5 years.
I mean, we were giving it a try. Just we forgot an important detail.
Minor detail.
I'm sure some people have watched. I'm sure some people have watched enough of these streams to just imagine our voices in their heads.
If there's a 24-hour stream this year, I'm just gonna come and I'm gonna commentate it potentially. I'm just gonna get absolutely wasted.
Well, there is the
not now.
GT1 World Series 24-hour race, and I already have the stream slot booked for it.
Oh, good. Wilco, are we gonna just get hammered together during stream?
He's going to be in Africa.
I'm not going to be in Africa. I am preparing to go to Africa.
Why are you going to Africa?
To help small children. It's a long story.
It's nice and warm there.
Are you going to Botswana?
No. Close. Actually, is it close? I don't know. Let me have a look.
Pretty
I need a
good.
map.
Just use Google Maps. It's not difficult.
I'm just in
Just
Google. alright,
get on your phone on TeamSpeak and just commentate blindly.
It's not far away. I suppose.
Chris Wilkinson live from Africa. He's been talking about Africa for all these years and finally he's there.
Shall I do a live podcast?
Can I
to the NDR?
just tell you something? A friend of my sister, she went to Africa for a year, and she wanted to come home pregnant by by somebody from Africa, so that she could have a perfect baby.
God.
And
There weren't no AIDS, were there?
well, they certainly were, and apparently there were men trying to rape them every night. So be careful.
Oh, I'm knackered.
It doesn't
beautiful.
just happen in the showers in prison. It happens in Africa, apparently.
I'm too beautiful. I can't do it.
I suspect you might be going to the same place if you're going to some kind of missionary
Take a
effort.
shotgun with you.
I'm going to Malawi.
Yes, that's the one, Malawi. Yes. Dear God, good luck.
I'm gonna get raped.
That's brilliant. There's so much material in this stream.
Everybody who's watching this stream just now, you now have a new LFS forum signature.
Yes, Chris. I'm afraid you'll be doing that one on your Todd.
Yeah, no, I'm going to do it on my Todd. I'm fine.
So, as well as our little chat show here, we've got
There'll
a
be a
race
race.
coming up. Yes, exactly.
Back to the race, ladies and gentlemen.
There's not much going on yet, although I
No.
think we won't be far away from screaming around.
Phil Diaz has just informed everybody in the TeamSpeak chat of a terrible joke. If anybody would like to relate it,
We've already done it.
We've
Oh,
already
have
moved
you?
on. We can't
Okay.
go back.
We've
shut the
had enough
door.
AIDS
Moment is
jokes.
lost.
Not AIDS,
Wouldn't stand for
STDs.
lost.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, if I might encourage some more discussion about NDR's past while we wait for some things to happen that need to happen. We, NDR have helped out a lot of other series other than our own because, let's face it, I have no life, and a lot of us actually had no life until just recently. Look at Chris Ford, he's gotten a job now, and he's not doing as much.
That's not very
in
nice.
LFS. Well, he got a life. You got a life, so congratulations.
Yeah, I'm still here on a Friday night at Christmas.
Yeah. Well, you can't have a life all the time. It's expensive, isn't it? NDR have helped with. You remember, Wilco? We helped with a season of the Murray Motorsport Cup,
NDR's
I remember
finest
well.
hour.
and we've helped with the MOE and IGDC races and broadcast, and which is some of our actual finer efforts. We also. Well, I was also called in to cover in the absence of the original 1GP series admin, but we won't go into too much detail because this is not the time and place to go into the detail about what happened.
we don't talk about
it's
it.
not,
We
it's not like
don't
anyone's
talk about
going to be
disaster
offended
stories here.
now after people have been accused of
4 years.
or after lines like "Oh no, I'm gonna be raped" have been said. I think it's not a bad thing. The stream is going out at 22 GMT.
It is officially past watershed in most of Europe, well, in all of Europe now, which is quite handy.
This makes me look back on GT2 World Series, South City.
Which one?
Wasn't there?
2011.
No, 12. What Dilo said, which I don't even remember.
Drafting is like a potato.
No, not that.
That was
not
nothing.
that.
Let's go.
He
What
was
else did he
upset
say?
with something. I don't know. He was upset with something. What he said, used language that normally you use later at night, like in the 24-hour races. Ball bag, for example.
Oh yeah,
Who's having a kid. I don't know if you said,
Yeah.
said
He's-
anything about that.
What happened?
yeah, I've heard about
Was that another Malawi issue?
Nah, he's having a baby bag.
Jesus Christ.
Wilco, you're pushing the lines.
Wilco, you see the line there that Dom mentioned? You're so far across it, you're actually further than Janice's fat load.
Oh, behave. Behave. Behave, okay? Right. Moving on, please.
So are we putting high wind on or what?
High wind, go on. Go on, Tilo, high wind.
Wind.
What's going on in the service?
We're just waiting for something, and then we'll be racing.
Right.
If maybe one of the race administration team could clarify what we're doing, that would be lovely.
Oh,
Or maybe I'll
there
sneakily
was
put
someone
wind
forgot
on.
off
Look,
of
there we
the
go.
list that I generated the tracker input from, so I've had to find their details and add them to the tracker drivers list. But that should be good to go now, so we can start any day now.
Way.
He'll show up in the tracker edits next update.
And the radio signal has been given. This is looking good now.
So yes, I do like your idea, Chris, of me calling the entire first lap in good old NDR fashion. And Wilco, if you would be so kind as to control the cameras for me, and then Dom, after that first lap, while I go catch my breath, if you would be so kind as to analyze what happened on the first lap. If that sounds good.
No, we're all just sorted now. We've got nothing to worry about.
Good.
Except for the race itself, which
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure is going to be carnage. It's not going to go very well, guys, is it?
Well,
We have, let's just point this out, we have 2 Kingsburys and FBMs, the faster cars, and we've got Isaac Price, Nico Rulito, Tony Letamaki, Kevin Loy, Tommy Osgard, Robin Friscops, Lumens Giusella in slower cars. It's not going too well. Oh,
It
we've
can
got Ben
only go
Keogh, the oldest man in the grid, I might point out, drinking beer, so we're going to have
You're
crashes.
saying there could be accidents.
No, I'm saying it's going to go smoothly and there's going to be no problems.
smooth as a baby's bottom.
Actually, it's not going to be too much of a problem if experienced STD drivers bump into inexperienced FPM drivers, because the FPMs are more likely to pick up terminal damage from that contact.
Speaking of STDs, Eunice Koskinen's on pole in the FPMs.
Yep, Jonas Koskinen, Jarl Tyen on the front row for the FBMs. Isaac Price and Yestelo. The back row, lights are green, and away we go! Koskinen leads from Tyen. Remco Major also behind in third. The first 3 are single file. The FBMs get cleanly through turn 1 so far, no one off. Isaac has the lead for the STD class as they come through turn 1, and I see no one off as yet. And we do have a car upside down. There's an FBM in green. That was Matt Kingsbury. Kagash also off. He stays on his wheels. He is at the back. Koskinen still leads as they come into turn 10. Turn 10 and 11, the double left-hand corner, as they also now come to under the overpass. The FBM class all stretched out. Marilito leads from Latin Mackie, and Kevin Loyket is in third. Friscops just behind. Kagash working his way back up. He'll get through these, and it's going to be tough going for the FBMs as they come through the field, especially if these XFGs and XRGs stay tightly packed up as they are here early days. Lap 1 of however many we can get through in 2 hours complete. Koskinen leads from Tyen and Major in the FBM group. And Marilito, Latinmaki, and Kevin Loy look to be the top 3 after lap 1 in the STD class.
Yes, because Price has gone from first to last for some reason. We did sort of miss that, I think.
I don't think we did. Isaac did in fact hit a stationary upside down FPM after the chicane. It was brilliant. It was Matt Kings, this car here, who's come back out of the pits after his flip, and is now starting to come through. So we're going to see our speed differential for the first time between the FPMs and the sexually transmitted diseases.
Sadly, we
Don't
wanna
still
see
have two
contact.
team sprays on the track.
I think the
Matt,
FBMs
behave.
need a nickname as well.
The Chlamydias.
The F-bombs.
We'll figure it out in a second.
Oh, Kingsbury's taking from the out.
This could be worth just watching Matt Kingsbury for an hour, for 2 hours. This we'll go on board with Matt as he squeezes his way past another.
When there's someone off head.
Really?
Whoa! Oh, that was very close to him. They have a moving out of the car next to him.
Dive bomb, isn't he? He's going to dive bomb. You can just tell. No, he's not.
No, he's not. He behaved.
For now.
That
he
was
goes.
against his teammates, to be honest.
And now he's been held up a little bit behind Usla and Friskops, who are engaged in battle.
This is a wreck
Must say,
exit turn 1.
I've never seen an FBM go past another car
Oh,
at
never
this
mind, he's lagging
speed.
Thomas
we've got a
Grady
car.
lagging out on the exit of turn 1. He may disappear. Well, no, he reappears, and now he finally loses connection.
You're a guy.
It's not too bad, you know. I mean, in this race, you can at least rejoin. But he's gonna go for the STD card as well.
Also,
Looking,
let's
battle
just put
here.
our eyes now. Sorry to interrupt. That go on. Eunice Koskinen, our FBM leader. We're watching him right now, and he's coming through the final complex. Ahead of him is the first lapped car. This is lap 2.
Yes,
Isaac
absolutely.
Price, Ben Keogh, among others, making their first pit stop and their only pit stop, I assume now.
I think for Isaac, with that crash early on, for them it's just getting out of the STD traffic.
Battle in the STD class between Ilari Yusela and Robin Friskops. That's for about 4th and 5th in the class as they come onto the bridge.
Yep, Robin is defending very, very heavily in that NX Racing car. He has been for the past couple of laps.
I
And,
wonder whether that would be a nice late dive, but no, he's gone for the other side. Oh, but very late braking from his sailor. And he can keep it around the outside, so wow, nice pass.
And Tommy Osgard looking to take the position from Friskops. He is on the outside. He's got the long way around. But, he nearly gets cut off. But, no, everything stays well. You know, these STD cars do have a little bit of a good tolerance for contact at angles that might spin, say, an FBM.
yeah, but speaking of the FBMs, they're now making their way straight through this riddled pack of road cars.
Well done, Belko. I was trying to come up with a pun, but you beat me to it. I was thinking of the FBMs have to rid themselves of the STDs.
Nah,
Wanna
mine's
make
better. And in
contact
fact,
with
here
the
comes
TD,
Eunice
do you?
Koskinen to overtake the battle between Tommy Osgard and Robin Friskops, and Tommy Osgard will side down the inside.
Bit of contact there between him and Ilaria Sailor and the coal car.
We should have done this with the Foss.
No, I think we should have done this with BF1.
That would have been better in the UF1.
Should have FE
Oh, of
Club.
course, you sailor drifting. TV there is buggered.
Oh, and there's a bit of an attempt between Tommy Osgard, Yosela and Friskops. They're back in a fight.
And Felix Hillen also just behind this battle. He'll give a little bit of a nerf up the back to Yusela.
Osgard and Helen in the two highest place XFGs at the moment.
Does anybody really have a clue what's going on right now? This is madness.
Seems like people really don't want to take note of the key factors of successfully doing the race that we mentioned earlier on, like keeping it on the black stuff.
Yeah, but unfortunately a lot of the cars are black, so they're just running into those.
That's a good point.
Throwing Oscar down toward turn number 1, Oscar to the inside. Hillen thought about defending to the right hand side of the pit wall, but he cannot do it. Oscar's going to comfortably take the position you imagine. Hillen tries to break as late as he possibly can and try and slam around the outside, but he can't. Behind him, Friskops and Engelhardt are going side by side as well.
Well, let's hope one of them yields into the chicane. Yeah.
The FBM behind them.
To be honest, lapping someone through that chicane in FBM is even worse than queuing in the post office. Just gotta wait a year and a half if you don't want to crash.
Queuing at the post office today, I was not best impressed.
The lapping's actually not as bad as I expected because the cars are so much faster.
We'll see later in the race. So
We do
guys, I
apologise
think
for the video issues we're having at the moment, but it also lets you see how we muck about with TV Director on an almost weekly basis when we're performing for you guys.
So guys, in NDR tradition, I think we should have a competition caution toward the end of this race.
Definitely.
We had it with 10 laps to go on the 250, so I mean, that sounds about right.
We could even have several.
Also, it's quite remarkable how spread out the FBM field is. After 8 minutes and 40 seconds.
So looking through the pack, there are no out of position FBMs. Felix Hillen going down the inside of Tommy Ostgaard in Dutall number 1.
The battle between Oscar and Hillen is still very much on. They're bumper to bumper. Friskops is right behind, right before the very long straight. Well, it's not very long, but it's very long for Fern Bay standards.
Oh, there goes Matt Kings!
Oh, my kings! Oh, and they both hit the wall, so that should be an easy one for Robin Friskops if he gets the chance into space.
Yep, Felix Hillen holding inside line like it is.
Oh, free wide to the turn! Oh, and
Oscar
Oscar
mucks it
comes
up.
off worst from it. Friskops just doing the switch back, and there's Corelli on the inside! Oh, that's... I think we're going to see a lot of that in the next 2 hours. Because these STD cars aren't really going to separate from another. I mean, we saw this in the SO4R 24-hour race a couple of months ago. They're usually together for quite a long time.
They are until you get treatment. Also of note, Eckhart and Hammer behind this group as they come through this final complex and onto the pit straight once again. We do apologise for the video loss. We're getting there. We're working on it. So we're talking NDR. NDR radio here is Robin Friskops now. Tommy Osgaard, sorry, coming down the inside of Robin Friskops in turn number 1. Hard on the brakes. Tommy Osgaard's position. Friskops tries to get the exit. Will he get the exit?
No, he was slow at the apex. He was in first gear, for that matter, at the apex, which is not what you really want to do. Again, he's right up back behind him. It's just the XFG is a bit vulnerable. Oh, right behind there's contact between Eckhart and Gehammer. Right through the S-bends. That's a bit risky.
Female
here comes
bowel
Eunice Koskinen
movement
now.
leader.
Where's needed to try and size past these on the straight. Gehammer using the wall to it. Oh God, Eunice Koskinen weaving across the road over the bridge. The thinnest part of the racetrack as well, trying to get through, trying to make enough space.
Time with a late 5. Just takes one second of not paying attention from one of the STD drivers for this to go wrong.
Eunice Koskinen held up by Kevin Loy a little bit there. It's going to hamper his effort to stay away from Jarl Tyne, who gets held up by Yasela through this final complex. These are our two FBM leaders. Meanwhile, the leaders in the other one is Miko Moralito with, oh god, somebody else from Court Racing's close behind.
Latin Mackie.
Latin Mackie, says Phil. Everyone can hear Phil there, so I'm stupid.
You used to GT2 World
change.
Series, it's okay.
You've done more than GT2 World Series like that when you've been mute, Phil?
MOE, Super GT.
Super GT, that's what I did. Super GT.
It's about as crazy as this.
8th in FBM class.
To do side by side with these weird bends and an XFG there! Ray Kings really want rid of all the stallers, Koska!
Oh my god, Koska! Oh, that's a big hit to the wall.
Yep, here comes Staska Vicious as well, trying to get around Eka, but he gets stuck behind an XFG.
Oh, there's contact! Oh, and he's off! Gamma and Staska Vicious are both off. Only a matter of time we will get a situation like that.
This was a brilliant idea. Well done, community.
Everyone who ticked that box saying FBM and XR and STD at the same time should probably seek a hospital of some sort.
Oh, it's brilliant, Dominik. It's brilliant. Just look at it.
I don't need a hospital right now.
Just look at it. It's brilliant.
Well, Phil, you intentionally did it. That's a bit of a different matter.
I was born in a hospital. Don't need it any more than that.
What if you got cancer?
Well, why would you need a hospital? You most likely die anyways. Just live with it. I'm joking, of course. Come on, Wilco.
Close your GUI and try it again.
Oh.
So we're going back to a radio broadcast for even shorter amount of time because we're still having issues with the reliable, stable with the speed.
Oscar is weaving behind Hill and he's gonna go for it. Oh, there's Kagash diving from behind in his FBM.
You're just Koskinen to go fastest on the track, and that could be anybody's in an FBM, really, depending on who gets the cleanest lap today, because this is brilliant.
Brilliant for us. I doubt anyone driving the cars is having a great time.
Suddenly, I'm very happy that I didn't make a sudden comeback with this race.
I think a lot of people are watching this. I don't mean that a lot of people are watching this, but I mean a lot of people think the same.
Then again, we have one chap in the chat saying this looks brilliant, sitting here regretting skipping it. So I guess mixed feelings across the board.
Oh yeah, it depends what kind of racing you like.
Yeah, and if you're in the masochism, then this is the perfect solution for
If
it.
you're a BTCC driver from the early 90s, then you're gonna love this. Only there are no voxels flipping in this.
Yeah. Well, instead we have FBMs flipping, so that's almost as good.
It is, and speaking of FBMs and XFGs and everything, look at Matt Kings, Ray Kings, sorry guys, talk about Ray Kings.
What do you mean by look at?
And Matt Kings, oh god.
They're both together, both Kingsbury brothers are together. This could be very entertaining. One of them hasn't got any right front camera. He does, but not into the direction you want it.
Yeah, not the correct direction.
It's rather positive.
You say that? Where are you going?
Oh! God, he's rear-ended Kevin Loy. He's just
Oh.
rear-ended Kevin Loy.
Kevin
Breaking.
Lloyd's with them.
That was
Kevin.
absolutely. He just drove straight into the back of him without any braking. Not sure what that is all about. And ahead of
Because Kingsbury.
ahead of Matt Kings, we've got Mikko Merilauta going off for a bit of a rallycross session in the last corner.
Yep,
Wait,
here's our race leader,
Who
and here
rear-ended
comes
Loy?
Latin Mackie
Oh,
for...
watch. Sorry, the FBM lead, your all-time, just had a huge run on Koskinen. Because Koskinen got caught up in the final chicane.
Oh, I do hope y'all doesn't win. Is that showing bias? I'm sorry if it does. Oh, Koskinen's gonna squeeze around the outside. Tommy Oscar, the outside's gonna try and follow. Ah! Oh.
How did they not crash there?
I really hope your outside doesn't win now.
We will see. I mean, they're both on R1, so who knows? One locks up, one doesn't make a mistake, has a big spin. I could decide it. Oh, Yaltai makes contact.
With
Not very good lap
Moralito,
for Mikko.
our XFG leader and Dom, they're taking each other on now.
Very much so, but thanks to all the contact malarkey between Merilauta and Lettenmacki, he is now right up the back bumper for the lead of the STD class.
Yeah, but now we do have our video feedback for now. We do apologise for the little issue we had for the past 10 minutes or so. But yeah, we're watching the lead battle between the two STDs.
Sounds wrong, but yes, we are.
It does.
Who
It does.
wants
we
the
genuinely
STD
are.
the most?
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? Sexually transmitted disease or female bowel movements? Come on.
Oh.
Which one's worse?
Oh. I don't care because here comes Latin Mackie around the outside. Contact me between the two of them coming into turn one. Moralito
It's
gets
gonna
sideways,
be a
more
classic
contact, rubbing.
switchback.
No.
No, not enough speed there from Lettenmacki. It's not for now.
I don't think the car has enough power.
Oh, there's an FBM in the gas.
Oh, car
Is that
wreck.
big on you by
Oh,
Lloyd?
he goes. It's Doldev in fourth place.
Lloyd's
In the
been hit as well.
FBM. He's pit manoeuvred Kevin Lloyd.
Well, not really, he's spun in front of him. Lloyd has nowhere to go. I really don't understand how he can be so silly as to drive on the grass on entry to chicane. You can see a big green thing on the right hand side. You want to avoid that when you're trying to turn left.
I think he got there's a bit of bump drafting here between the two. I think it's the two Kings brothers bump drafting there. No, it's not. It's not Costa. It's the other one. Oh, I can't find it. This hasn't gone well. Basically, bump drafting. Dominik Vicious and Idlecamp bump drafting around the track here. As they come on. Oh god!
Oh,
What's
there's a
this?
car spinning. Oh no, wait, that was lag. Dominik looked like he
Where's
was spinning.
He's going? He's taking
Oh.
Dominic out.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
Oh dear.
You can see the driving standards and the liver speed are still as good as always.
Well, I would like to see what
Where's Idlecamp
logic.
going?
What logic there is behind? Oh yeah, I'm in
Jesus
the draft
Christ.
of the car. I'm gonna try and brake twice as late as usual.
Yeah, drive through penalty. I don't think Thilo needed a second opinion on that one.
No, they definitely go straight away there. So Stankovic goes, gets a drive-through penalty, although he might not be able to serve it just yet because he's stuck behind an XRR. Not an XRR, that was
XRR.
Greeny.
So I would easily walk this race.
I think if Dom saw the word X or R in the entry list, he'd be out there.
I doubt because I don't really like this track with a GT1.
That's the problem, not the fact that it's absolute carnage out there.
Well, if you're
This is
careful,
a great track.
just hide in the pit for 1 hour and 59 minutes and you come back at the end.
Oh,
You might be
Tommy
lucky enough
Kane.
to be declared the winner.
Tommy Osgard's been on the grass, somebody else is on the grass, that's Robin. Or
Looks
Robin.
like Dominik and FBM crashed in the first chicane. Or at least was off track.
I'm seeing things on this TV director map that shouldn't seem normal. People absolutely zipping by others, and it's FGM's going past STDs, but I just can't make sense of it. It's both of them! Both of the 2 FBMs go off! It's Oscar Vicious and Idle Camp, and Idle Camp goes flying off into the wall through those fast corners in the final sector.
Let's hope he's got to be careful rejoining, because there's a massive group of cars coming up behind him.
Koskinen held up massively by Ray Kings and 2 XRGs. Here comes y'all tied for the lead.
Yeah, here comes y'all tied.
Oh, there we... That easy one.
I think he got stuck, didn't he? Somebody got stuck.
You can also for the information, as you can tell, both cars apart. Yartine, so well, Yartine is the car in the front at the moment with the white square on the side pods.
Yeah, and we're riding on board with Eunice Koskinen right now, just to show how scary it is for an FBM driver trying to squeeze past these
it's scary,
left, right,
but
there.
let's be honest, they're the ones who gotta make the lapping. They're the faster cars. They're gonna just keep crashing into everyone. That's so ridiculous.
Yeah, we end.
You want to be Anthony David and you want to launch yourself over the barrier with using a slower car, then well, go ahead. But you're not gonna win the race like that.
Depends if it's the last lap.
No one's gonna remember the winner anyway. Better do something spectacular.
And then them cars.
Koskinen held up again in the same spot as last time.
It's about the time Eunice gets really annoyed and starts hitting people.
It's an intriguing prospect.
Hell under the pressure from. Oh, you're tired going down the inside of the 2 cars battling. Oh, this is.
Battle for 2nd and 3rd now in FBM.
The battle apparently for
Yes! Remco Major
Tyne's off. Tyne's back on the track now, but he's lost most of his lead, and Koskinen and Major are going to be right behind him into the next lap.
And lapped traffic up ahead to deal with, so that could also affect the gaps. Tyen and Koskinen getting around clean. Oh, and Major has to go on the grass, shortcuts track. He outbrakes himself, just barely slips between Latimäki and Miralito, and that could have been a massive incident.
That could have been. I don't know. Didn't just go to the left because there was the whole track to the left. There's no reason to go to the right. You're not gonna gain a 10. You're not even gonna lose a 10 by just doing those 3 meters more distance you gotta do on the outside of that track.
The other thing you have to remember, it is still in multi-class. It is the faster car's responsibility to make the overtake cleanly. The slower class needs to stay predictable.
Sadly, this time we got the experienced drivers in the slower cars and the inexperienced drivers in the faster cars.
Yeah, but that just makes it fun.
True.
This is fun. This is brilliant.
For us, it's fun. I think probably read down a list of people for.
I think we should also.
So much.
I think we needed 4 classes. I think we should have had MRT and UF1 in this as well.
I think you should have had. I still think
What about something like Baby UFR, something that's really fast through corners and doesn't have any straight line speed?
Yeah, that'd be entertaining.
This is like Cargrim actually.
It is pretty
Cargrim
close.
races are a bit less chaotic.
It is fairly close at the head of the STD battle between Miralito and Latimäki.
The head of the STD battle? That sounds fun.
Yes!
The head of
I
the
knew
STD.
you'd enjoy that.
Happy birthday, NDR. Welcome to the pun team.
I was going to say we will find anything possible entertaining out of this and milk it for all it's worth.
Well, let's be honest, we're
And
not
a
short
car
of
off exiting the
entertainment.
chicane. That is Ray
Kingsbury.
Kingsbury off at the chicane ahead of this STD lead battle. He has got heavy right side damage. He's on Latimäki paying good attention. Yeah, Kingsbury with that
getting a
right
loose
side
behind.
damage.
Oh, Marlito! Oh, so close. So close being hit by Dalda there, Marlito. Oh, Jesus
Again, the
Christ.
FBM leaders are nose to tail.
Yes, they are tying in front, Koskinen behind. Seemingly clear track for a while at least before these two, so this could be an actual
About
real-life
20
battle
seconds,
for,
maybe.
for about 10 seconds probably.
Koskinen resets fast lap at a 1:19.21.
Must have been a clean one for these guys.
Yeah, it's
Another bit of traffic.
the previous fast lap was Koskinen's at 1:19.54, so it's about 0.3 faster there. As we look from the nose cone of Koskinen's car, looking forward at tying up ahead. Costa joining the spectators, not sure what that was. I would like to mention a line from Stu Baker in IRC. He says, quote, "Some of the STD field will have chosen AIDS. You cannot have ABS on the XFG, but it is an option on the XFG."
Is he saying that only chlamydia is available in the XFG?
And Koskinen has the draft of Tyan, I'm sure of it, exiting the final corner. Tyan defense all the way to the wall. That is a Schumacher-style defense.
Oh, it did make
And there's
contact.
a bit of contact. I'm not sure if that was Koskinen.
Oh
God,
God, this is gonna end up being a massive crash.
The Koskinen
This battle is far from
has
over.
got past.
Oh my
All
God.
Not
of
for
the
how long?
STDs move out of their way.
Yep, and now
a lot better than
FBM
ours.
lapped car up ahead. Karani, who is laps down after his timeout.
And it doesn't seem to be intending to get out of the way.
Yeah, there's no hurry.
True.
There's no hurry to the
Koskinen trying to use the draft of him. They'll be both up the inside. Tyan, look, is he going to try to make it very wide? Yes! And Koskinen cuts across Karani, makes contact. Tyan lying, I think.
Looks like his game
And
minimized.
Tyan is
His
on
game
the track.
minimized.
Desktop,
Oh, his game
Into
minimized.
desktop.
Crash to desktop. Definitely.
like it.
Yep, and
He's
he'll
gone.
spectate.
A rage quit.
That sorted out the lead battle then.
Boo. By the way, that was a really dumb maneuver from Judas Koskinen.
Speaking of the devil, he goes around a battle between Eckhart and Lottie.
Oh, Koskinen!
Oh my dear God.
Oh no! Over the curbs when Eckhart Lloyd got involved.
By the way, this
well.
by the way, the big
Lloyd,
battle
how many
in
FCMs
STD
have crashed
again.
into his car?
Miko wants the most STDs just now, but later Mackie wants them off him.
That was a shocking one, Chris. That
He
was
was
shocking.
leaving it down at point. I just want to say STD.
Latin Mackie. Had a look on the right-hand side of Merlito. The draft not as big in these cars as the FBM. And I have a couple FBMs overtaking. That's Kingsbury and Koskinen. And Latin Mackie giving a little bit of a bump.
A cheeky bump there.
Can't
No,
move.
so let's just stick behind him. I'm waiting for both to round each other off. I mean, it seems to be a quite good strategy so far.
You know, when you're in an STD, you're actually looking for some aids from an FBM when you're trying to overtake another STD.
Who are at best, Chris? Who are at best? Although I have thought that a nudge from an STD may pass that on to the FBM. All it
Oh,
requires is a
dear.
little bit of contact and job done, I suppose.
Oh God, Chris, just sick.
Car
More
wrecked on the
battling
bridge.
between Rob and Eckhart. They seem to be both from the same team because they've got the same skins on.
Interesting conclusion.
We'll stick with
Oh, and
Merlito.
Usela joining this battle fairly closely, if that hasn't been established yet.
It has.
Maybe there's a bit of teamwork going on. Oh, I don't
And
think
a
there's a
rear
really
parameter.
matter in core.
Probably because they have the same skins on.
Funny.
think I've heard that one before. I'm gonna be join some FBM from behind.
Yeah, we're watching from the back of
Raking.
Dalda,
Oh, and
where's
he's going
Dalda
for a
going?
dive! Oh, why?
Dalda's just wrecked Kevin Lloyd. Kevin Lloyd continues, but Dalda spins. Dalda, that was one of the most ridiculous maneuvers thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yet another FPM drives into the pretty green colours of concept racing.
Well, it's unbelievable. Every time I switch to it, he
Isn't
gets
green
hit by
bad luck in
someone.
racing anyway?
Well, Team Green in kart, they never had luck when they had a green car. The only thing I remember about late is green. I don't know if many teams run green cars. Oh, and Dalda hits
Not a
Aloy
lot.
again!
How was the
seems to
phone
be a-
each other on try again?
There seems to be some kind of a vendetta going on there, for some odd reason.
Clearly some kind of type of frustration with the STDs, you know,
Yeah, hard to imagine why one would have a frustration with STDs.
I think he wants one. I don't know.
yeah, he's probably
Keeps coming in
regretting his
contact with
choice in FBM just now, and he clearly wants an STD, and that would make his day just now, I think.
Yeah, and he was
Intentionally
like,
coming in contact with it. It's like he wants
Yeah.
one.
It's like when you go to a nightclub and you see this girl who's, you know, a bit ragged, and clearly knows something about her.
Is this what happens in the clubs of Stonehaven, Chris?
Definitely not Stonehaven, no. I'm
Oh,
just more
she's
thinking
got an
Sunderland.
STD, I want one of them. Is that how it goes there?
yeah, the thing is, he doesn't want
Too cool,
any
guys,
STD,
guys,
he
guys,
wants
too
this
cool, guys.
STD.
He's letting them
Just
by.
stay on a side by
Yeah,
side.
Latimaki hit the wall coming out of turn 8, which lost him all the speed for the straight, so Usela comes around with relative ease.
No, I don't know how much a stop and go costs you, but for example, Isaac's already done his little stop and go pit stop, and he's already on
Could be
the bridge.
about 10 seconds. Something like that. It's not a lot.
Oh, well then he's lost a ton of time.
But yeah, he did, because he got spun around at the start by Kingsbury.
Correct.
Got spun
Both
around
the
by a
front, both the
flip.
front two actually lost out there. They both had to pit.
And somehow this is now calmed down.
Oh, don't jinx it.
I'm attempting jinx it.
Do your very best.
And yes, we will. And in fact, we're going to just break the stream video here so we can have a better on-demand video video feed for YouTube and whatever, allowed process. So we'll be back in just a few seconds.
Alrighty, stay tuned.
Front stretch is packed with cars.